Hey everybody, welcome to Drive Thru Review 210. Today I'm going to talk about Chronicle. This is an older game from Z-Man Games. It came out about 3 or 4 years ago. Now the designer, as you can see there, is Seiji Kanai, who designed Love Letter and Lost Legacy, two of his more well-known games, sort of mostly for Love Letter, and then a couple other games. This is kind of like a Love Letter, but not really at all. It has some similar ideas, and I actually picked it up at Gen Con, and so I'm kind of taking a break from new game releases while I get caught up. But this has definitely been a staple at my lunch game group. So we haven't played anything else since I got back from Gen Con except for this. And it's basically a trick-taking game with a lot of sort of variable goals through the rounds, and it plays relatively quickly. And we can get 2 whole games done in a lunch hour. So let me show you how it works, and I'll come back and tell you more about it. So with the game, you get 2 decks of cards, and then you get these little fame point tokens here. And these are going to be what you're trying to achieve. The winner of the game is going to be the first person to achieve 3 of these. And these are going to be handed out, dictated by these cards, and these are like goal cards. So each round you're going to flip over 1 and sometimes more of these, and it's going to tell you what the goal for that turn is. Otherwise, you're going to take this deck of cards here and then shuffle them and deal them out to all the players. And you basically have 3 suits. We can see here's a red one, and these are 1 through 10 in the different suits. And there are also a couple of wild cards that are considered to be sort of a 0 value, but they usually have some really nice effect. And you can see that these suited cards also have an effect. They'll give you an icon that shows you what the effect is, but the effect here is actually just described in English. So you're going to get a hand of these, and these are going to be all dealt out to all the players. Then you're going to flip over the top card here and see what this one says here. So you can see this one, it says a 1 wish. So that means whoever has the number 1 red card is going to say, I've got it, and show it to everybody. And they're going to say, okay, I've got the witch. I'm going to lead the first trick or the first hand. You don't have to actually lead the card that here is indicated. You just show that you have it, and then you're allowed to go first. And then this is going to tell you here, see, the player or players with the fewest love allies can earn 1 fame point. And love is the color, so they show you the color coding there. So basically at the end of this, hand of cards, you want to be the person that captures the fewest red cards. So what you're going to do on your turn is lead. So let's say you led with this, and you lead with the 5. So now you've determined the suit, just like any trick-taking game, and anybody that has a red card must play that. Now they can, if they want, also play a wild instead. But if they don't have any wilds and they have some red cards, they have to play a red card. And when you play a card, you're going to do the effect here. So this one says, is a number 10 red, and it says, choose one of your allies and discard it. Well, what are allies? So allies are going to be the cards that you capture here. So if we had played out, let's say, a hand of 3 players here, usually the highest card is going to take all of those. So if I had played that, and then I would capture these and put these in front of me. The cards that I've captured here are going to be visible to everybody, and these are now considered your allies. So any cards that talk about allies are going to be, the cards that you've captured. So, for example, if I had played this again on a later turn, choose one of your allies and discard it. So if I played that, I would take an ally, and I would probably take here one of my evil allies here. So you can see that one's evil. And so I would take that, and then I could be able to get rid of it because I didn't want that. Or, for example, if you're trying to, win the goal here, this one again, the player with the fewest love allies gets the point. So I would take this and then maybe get rid of one of my red cards. So you're basically just going to be playing round by round. Whoever won the previous trick is going to lead the next trick, usually, unless some of the effects dictate that. And there are a variety of effects, but the ones that have the same number are going to be the same effect. So we can see here the number 9 says, choose a card from your hand and add it directly into your ally. So if I played her, then I can take a card and then add it to my allies. So all the other number 9s of the different 2 other suits here have the same thing. So choose a card from your hand and add it to your allies. So all of the effects are the same for all the numbers, and then you've got some various different wild cards. You can see choose 1 player who has to discard 3 allies. So in this case, you would definitely choose yourself if you were to play this card, and then you'd wipe this out because then you don't have so many cards in front of you. Now, if you don't have a wild and you don't have a card of the matching suit, you can play another card of a different suit, but you have to play it face down. And when you play it face down, its effect won't trigger. You won't worry about the number here. It's not going to count for the trick at all. Now, again, you can always play a wild card when you want, but you can never play a wild face down. You have to play these face up like so. So basically, you're going to play around until at least one player at the end of that round doesn't have any cards, and that is going to change because you're going to be taking cards in and out of your hand. So it's very possible that somebody could go out first, and then the other players maybe have one or two cards left in their hand. Then you're going to look at the win condition here, and then whoever meets it, if more than one person meets it, everybody's going to get a fame point. You're going to shuffle up everything, and then you're going to deal off the next card here. Now you'll have a new goal, and then you're going to play it out again. Now, there is a caveat to all of this. So if you have any evil cards in your allies in front of you, then you are not considered eligible for this goal. You're removed from the round, and you're not considered for any counts. If you're counting having the most red cards, the least green cards, the most blue cards, or whatever, you're out of the round. You're not even considered if you have any evil cards. So you don't want these. However, if you have all 4 evil cards, then you're automatically going to win the round no matter what the goal is. Nobody's going to score anything for the goals, and you're going to get immediately 2 fame points. And the 4 evil cards here are each of the 3 ones in the different colors, and then there is the demon here, which is a wild card. So if you have all 4 of these, in front of you, then obviously again you're going to win and get 2 points. Nobody else gets anything. And that's basically how the game works. Okay, hope you enjoyed the overview. This game is quite fun. I've played a lot of these sort of trick-taking games that have sort of variants on the rules, and this is by far my favorite, and definitely my lunch group's favorite game. There's a lot to sort of trying to strategize and hold certain cards back based on the effects of the cards. One card, the number 3 card in all the suits, is going to reverse the rules so that the lowest number card wins, and then so that's obviously going to change. And like the number 5 card, when you play that, it'll immediately end that particular trick, and then whoever is supposed to be winning will win at that instant. And that can be very interesting. The wild card, some of them will say I auto win, or maybe we'll just discard the whole trick and then start over. There's the one that discards 3 cards. There's a lot kind of stuff going on here. Also, the goal cards are pretty varied. So sometimes you want the least red cards, the most red cards. Some of them will say deal out the next 3 cards. So you flip a card, and I think it's called King's Coronation. You flip that up, and it'll say flip over the next 3 goal cards, and then all of those are in play. So you may have a situation where there's one goal that says least red cards gets a point, another one that says most red cards gets a point, and then another one that says least green card gets a point or something. So all 3 of those are in play. And we've even seen where somebody wins both the goals, most and least red cards, because maybe somebody is evil and they're out of the running, and then the other 2 people that are left, they have each 1 red card, so they both have the most and the least, so they're each going to get 2 points. And like I said, you only play till 3 points. So if you get something like that, or you have a player that gets all 4 evil cards, they're going to get 2 points. So the games, the rounds play quick, but the games as a whole also play very quickly. So there's a lot of strategizing and things. Sometimes you want to win no allies. You don't want to have any allies because it's just least allies total. So the goals, they definitely change the strategy of how you use those different effects and the different numbers. And it's very love lettery where the 1 has a certain power, the 10 has a certain power, and they also count for the number value and sort of the overall power of the card for capturing the trick. So definitely a cool game. I totally recommend it. I mean, if you're sort of a Seiji Kanai fan, which I'm kind of turning into at this point, then I would say definitely take a look at this. It is a few years old, but I think it's somewhat readily available. You may have to do a little bit of digging, but it should be at one of your online retailers. I'm not sure. But it's a small price point if this thing does start to disappear from print, maybe at some future time if somebody's watching this video. Definitely worth picking up. It plays 3 to 6. I don't think I mentioned that, so I haven't played it with 6, but definitely good, 3 and 4 for sure. So anyway, that's Chronicle. Thanks.